Everyone is obsessed with the new AI. Well, the new AI models, right? We spent, well, all of last year talking about breakthroughs in LLMs like Claude or, the latest text-to-image generators.
Yeah, and it's exciting stuff.
It is. But if you are someone who's, serious about building a high-volume digital asset, a faceless brand, a theme page, or even one of those wildly popular AI baddies,
Right.
the models are just the software you rent. The real quiet power move, the foundational shift that lets you achieve scale and, frankly, print leverage while you sleep is happening right now in the hardware.
That's the key distinction, I think. We've been looking at a whole stack of sources.
All the big tech announcements.
Exactly, detailing major infrastructure announcements. We're talking about the new generations of chips coming out of NVIDIA and AMD. And our job today is to translate that.
Break it down.
Yeah, to turn that enterprise-level engineering news directly into actionable, practical workflow changes for the solo content entrepreneur. This isn't just news about, semiconductor physics.
No.
This is the new economic foundation for the entire digital content ecosystem.
So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. We want to help you understand why this technology is rapidly moving from feeling like an expensive, fragile experiment.
Which it absolutely was for a while.
For sure. To an essential utility that should be as reliable as your Wi-Fi or electricity. We're going to connect these high-end hardware specs directly to your output goals.
And we're focusing on the core metrics, right? Speed, scale, and the massive monetization opportunities opening up for these automated media operations.
Or digital IP channels, exactly.
If you're trying to build a serious media company in this new landscape, one that genuinely runs 247 and doesn't require you to be glued to your screen.
This is the dream.
It's the dream. Then you need to know how this new silicon foundation will specifically affect your ability to generate volume and manage those AI characters. We're moving past the early adopter phase.
So the gatekeepers are losing their grip.
They are. The economic gatekeepers are the ones who could afford massive compute resources. They're losing that advantage. And the solo creator who just designs smart systems is about to get a massive, massive amount of leverage.
Okay, let's dive in. All right, so let's unpack this. We should probably start with the biggest announcements because these headlines they were everywhere in the tech press.
Oh, absolutely.
But the actual implication for, a solo creator running a two-person shop often gets buried.
Yeah.
So what did the giants actually drop? And what does a multi-billion-dollar data center announcement mean for the person trying to generate 100 short-form clips a week?
That's the perfect question. And we have to start with the infrastructure because that dictates everything downstream, the pricing, the speed, all of it.
Okay.
And the biggest announcement on that high-end side is absolutely NVIDIA's Vera Rubin launch.
Vera Rubin.
Yeah. And to put it in plain English, NVIDIA's Vera Rubin NVL72 isn't just a chip. That's the wrong way to think about it.
It's a system.
It's a massive, integrated, AI-focused data center platform. This is the engine that powers the major cloud providers and subsequently the companies that power your favorite generative tools. Midjourney, Runway, you name it.
So if last year was all about the chips that were optimized for training these massive world-changing models, what's the Vera Rubin platform focused on?
It's built around optimizing the second, and I would argue more critical phase for creators, inference.
Inference. Okay, that's the technical term. Let's break that down. What does that mean for me sitting at home asking my AI script generator for 3 new hooks?
Inference is the action phase. It's what happens when the model is already trained and you're just asking it to produce an output. It's simply the speed at which the AI runs once that complex training phase is done.
So when I type a prompt.
Yeah, when you type a prompt into an image generator, or when an AI summarizes a long transcript, or when a video tool synthesizes a 10-second scene, that's all inference in action. And the sources, they all confirm the core benefit here. The Rubin platform promises up to 5x better inference performance than the previous generations.
Which were already incredibly fast.
Which were already mind-bogglingly fast, yes.
5 times faster. I mean, that's staggering. But let me push back on this a little. If I'm currently waiting, say, 20 seconds for a high-res image through some cloud API.
Sure, a common scenario.
Are we really looking at 4 seconds? And if so, how does that speed actually translate into savings for me, the user, rather than just, fatter profit margins for the cloud provider?
That's the critical and I think challenging question every creator should be asking. You're absolutely right that the providers could hoard those gains.
They could.
But the economics of computation, especially in a competitive market, they dictate that those cost savings have to be passed on eventually, or their competitors will just undercut them.
Okay, so competition forces their hand.
It has to. Think about it this way. If a single cloud server could previously handle, say, 1,000 requests per minute for a specific AI service,
Right.
and now that same server using Rubin can handle 5,000 requests per minute, the provider's operational cost per transaction or per token or per pixel, it just drops dramatically.
So their overhead is now, what, 20% of what it was?
Precisely. And in a global, highly competitive market for generative AI API access, that means your favorite AI tools, your image generators, script writers, video editors, and especially those notoriously expensive text-to-video models, they are about to get dramatically faster and critically cheaper per use.
So give me some numbers. How does that cost curve actually bend?
Well, if the compute cost for the provider drops from, say, $5 to $1 for a really complex task,
Okay.
the price you pay as a creator might drop from $10 to maybe $2 or $3. That cost curve is bending rapidly downward, and that drop is absolutely massive for anyone running a high-volume automated media operation that relies on constant output.
So this infrastructure drop really is the ultimate removal of the gatekeeping.
It is.
If you need 10,000 generated assets a month to run 10 separate digital IP channels that used to require, like, a corporate budget or a major investment in your own specialized hardware.
Right. It was prohibitive for a solo operator.
And now this acceleration makes that volume affordable. It makes it possible for a solo creator who just prioritizes smart systems.
That's the entire story. The sources, they frame this as the infrastructure removing the gatekeepers. Leverage goes to those who design smart, automated pipelines, not necessarily those with the deepest pocket.
So you're no longer limited by the tech.
Exactly. You're no longer limited by the speed or prohibitive cost of the underlying technology. You are limited only by the efficiency and the structure of your content workflow.
Now, NVIDIA, they pretty much own the high-end data center space. But they're not the only players making massive moves, are they?
Not at all.
We saw AMD come out swinging with their own counterpunch, especially focusing on chips that go right into the laptops and PCs we use every day.
That's right. And it's a brilliant two-pronged approach for the whole industry. While NVIDIA accelerates the cloud, AMD is doubling down on their consumer side with their Ryzen AI chips. They're pushing serious AI capability directly onto consumer devices.
And this is part of that massive trend we saw coming out of CES 2026, right? Where everything is AI ready.
Everything. Laptops, PCs, even TVs and smart home devices are all shipping with AI-ready hardware baked in as a headline, non-optional feature.
And when we say AI ready, we're talking about dedicated silicon, aren't we?
We are. We're talking about dedicated neural processing units, or NPUs, built right into the main CPU.
Not just software.
It's not just a software patch, it's physical hardware. And it's not just AMD. We see new edge-first chips emerging from Qualcomm, Apple, and others. They were all bringing serious, efficient AI capability directly onto phones and laptops.
Which brings us to Edge AI.
Exactly. This is the Edge AI revolution, and it has profound, immediate consequences for the faceless content entrepreneur.
So let's break down the meaning of Edge AI. Why should I care if the AI is running on my laptop versus in some massive NVIDIA data center in Silicon Valley?
What's the tangible difference for me?
There are two main advantages, and they are both huge: latency and cost efficiency.
Okay, latency first.
When the AI runs locally or on the edge, it cuts latency dramatically. Latency is that delay, that frustrating lag time between when you click generate and when the result actually appears on your screen.
We all know that feeling.
We do. When the task runs locally on your MPU, that delay is almost zero. Why? Because the data doesn't have to travel across the internet to a distant server and then all the way back.
It makes the workflow feel instant, which for creative iteration is crucial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then there's a second benefit: cost.
Right.
By running generation, editing, transcription, and summarization tasks locally on your MPU, you bypass the cloud API for those specific functions. You don't have to hit the cloud, which means you drastically reduce your subscription fees and your pay-as-you-go costs.
Which can add up incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. This leads to far more mobile native tools, allowing you to ideate, generate, and post directly from your laptop or phone without worrying that every click is melting your credit card. And you don't need a perfect gigabit internet connection. You gain independence.
So we've got NVIDIA making the central brain smarter, faster, and cheaper to access. And we've got AMD, Apple, and Qualcomm making every endpoint, your computer and phone, smarter and more self-sufficient. This really speaks to that utility shift you mentioned earlier. It really does sound like AI is becoming infrastructural.
It's becoming a utility, just like water or power. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you see why the cost pressure is so incredibly intense. One of the sources highlighted a staggering fact.
What's that?
China's regulators have confirmed over 700 generative models have cleared official filings in that country alone.
700.
700 in a single region. That staggering volume underscores how aggressively that market is scaling and competing for AI dominance.
700 models. That's just one market. I mean, that level of competition is a content creator's absolute best friend.
It's the best news you could ask for.
Because it guarantees a rapid reduction in price and a rapid increase in functionality.
It guarantees it. The sheer volume of models and the competition they unleash accelerates innovation and drives massive cost pressure globally. The outcome for you, the solo creator, is undeniable. This means the shift from viewing AI compute as an expensive luxury, where every prompt felt like a tax.
Oh, totally. You'd think twice before hitting generate.
Exactly. To an essential utility. It's becoming like electricity. You just expect it to be fast, stable, and cheap enough to use constantly for high-volume, repetitive tasks. And that stable, fast, affordable foundation, that is exactly what makes the 24/7 automated media operation possible.
That sets the stage perfectly, because if the foundation is stable, fast, and cheap, the next logical step is figuring out what we actually need in our studio to grab and leverage all this new power.
It's time for the shopping list.
A shopping list focused purely on ROI.
Okay, so let's move from that high-level infrastructure news to what you need to go out and buy or, upgrade today. We're calling this the 2026 Creator Hardware Stack.
I like it.
And it's designed specifically for building a high-volume digital content studio that can scale exponentially. We've broken this down into 3 essential pillars, starting with the brains of the operation.
And the goal here is simple. Non-technical advice focused purely on maximizing your content output per dollar spent. You don't need to become an engineer, but you absolutely need to understand where your current machine is creating a bottleneck that kills your ability to scale.
All right. Pillar 1. CPitch EPU and PUs with AI acceleration. This is about making sure your computer's brain is modern and specialized.
Yes, if you are shopping for a new laptop or desktop today, you need to focus specifically on modern chips that explicitly advertise dedicated AI cores.
They'll call them NPUs, right? Neural processing units. They'll call them NPUs or AI accelerators or some similar marketing term. But the key is that these cores are physically and logically different from the cores that handle general tasks or graphics rendering. They are specialized.
Specialized for what exactly?
They're designed solely to handle the specific, repetitive, mathematical heavy lifting of AI inference tasks.
So why can't my trusty old CPU or even my high-end dedicated GPU just handle this? I mean, they're fast, right?
They can handle it, but they do it really inefficiently.
Okay.
Think of it like this. Using a massive, powerful bulldozer, that's your GPU, to dig a tiny, precise hole for a fence post.
Right. It gets the job done, but it's overkill.
Total overkill.
Yeah.
And extremely power hungry. The NPU is like a precise, efficient drill designed just for that job. It's built for those repetitive AI tasks, transcription, summarization, or running a small, personalized image model.
So by offloading those tasks.
By offloading these specific tasks to the NPU, your desktop or laptop can run those critical, high-volume workflows locally, which frees you from that constant cloud reliance.
Okay, give me a concrete example. What does the NPU do locally that saves me time and money right now?
Well, it allows you to run real-time background removal during a live stream or recording in OBS without taxing your main CPU, so your stream doesn't lag.
That's a big one.
It's huge. It also enables you to run small personalized models like a fine-tuned stable diffusion variant for generating quick assets like thumbnails or reaction images in under a second right on your machine.
So no waiting for an API call.
Zero waiting. It frees you from constant cloud reliance for these specific low-level tasks, which is critical for keeping your costs low when you're operating at high volume.
Okay, pillar 2. This one is often tragically overlooked, but it is rapidly becoming the true bottleneck for solo creators running these intensive AI workflows. Enough RAM.
And we mean enough RAM.
Yeah.
This is a point that, honestly, it cannot be overstated. RAM, random access memory, is where your computer temporarily holds the models and the assets it is actively working on.
It's the workspace.
It's the workbench. And AI models, especially the ones required for video generation or high-res image synthesis, are notorious memory hogs. And when you're running multiple processes simultaneously, which is what a faceless brand system requires,
The video editor, the transcription tool.
the scheduling software, the local fine-tuning model, the inevitable dozen Chrome tabs, it demands serious RAM.
Okay, so what's the number? What should we be aiming for, and what happens if we skimp on it?
So we define 16 GB as the workable minimum.
Workable.
Workable for lighter, text-heavy workflows. But if you are serious about implementing that Baddie blueprint-style workflow, which involves recording long-form content and then aggressively repurposing it across multiple platforms using AI characters, 32 GB is the sweet spot. It's the tree minimum you should aim for.
And what happens if you try to run all that on 16 GB? What does that feel like?
It feels like frustration.
Why?
You experience RAM starvation. I know it sounds technical, but we've all felt it.
Oh.
How many times have you been rendering a clip and your whole machine just slows to a crawl? Or your video editor just crashes because you forgot to close your 50 open research tabs in Chrome.
ALT.
That's RAM starvation in action. When an AI model loads, it needs a large, continuous chunk of that RAM. If you don't have that 32 GB buffer, your entire system just grinds to a laggy, frustrating halt, and it kills all the speed gains you should be getting from your new hardware.
So 32 GB is crucial for running those high-volume tasks. Let's just specify what those are again.
Right. It's crucial for running those heavier tools or smaller local models at the same time. Think about fine-tuning local caption models to exactly match the specific voice and tone of your AI character.
That runs in RAM.
It runs in RAM. Running sophisticated DM agents that handle initial customer service inquiries or qualify leads, that also takes a lot of memory.
And the big one.
And the most demanding task of all, handling AI video generators and those new humanizer layers that add subtle motion and micro-expressions to make your AI characters believable. You need that 32 GB buffer to run the video editor, the transcription tool, the scheduling application, and the AI generator simultaneously without everything just crashing.
And we also have that supply chain warning in the sources, which
Yeah.
makes this priority even more urgent, right? It's not just about performance, it's about predicting cost.
Correct. This is a critical forward-looking point. Analysts are warning that the overwhelming, unprecedented demand from AI data centers companies buying up all the high-end memory chips for platforms like Vera Rubin is tightening the supply chain for consumer memory chips, or DRAM.
Which means prices go up for us.
It potentially leads to higher prices and scaled-back configurations in standard 2026 devices. This means creators have to prioritize getting that 32 GB strategically now. The thinking is, if you wait, that sweet spot might become significantly more expensive or simply harder to find in an off-the-shelf machine.
Okay, we've got a modern, specialized brain and enough memory to run the processes efficiently. Pillar 3 is about handling the resulting data deluge. Storage and external drives.
Storage is so critical because as soon as you start generating content at scale, and we're talking about thousands of clips a month, your internal hard drive just vanishes.
It fills up instantly.
Instantly. Video, high-res AI assets, and the actual model files themselves, they eat up space incredibly quickly. A single 30-minute 4K video file is huge, and if you're pulling 20 repurposed clips from it every week, you are accumulating massive archives very, very quickly.
And if your main drive fills up, the entire machine slows down, regardless of how much RAM you have. What's the practical, scalable solution here?
You have to separate your active work storage from your archival and overflow storage. You just have to.
So 2 buckets.
2 buckets. For the individual creator, the solution is external SSDs. Solid-state drives. They are fast, reliable, and portable. But if you are serious about building a large, multi-channel automated media operation, maybe you're collaborating with an editor or running several different AI character niches, then network-attached storage or a NAS becomes essential.
What's the benefit of the NAS system over just, a stack of external hard drives?
A NAS lets you create a centralized, always-on archive that's accessible across all your devices and, if you need it to be, securely by remote collaborators.
It's like your own private cloud.
It's exactly that. It's essential for archival room for your long-form content, like those podcast files, and for the massive number of generated short-form clips you're constantly churning out. And crucially, it keeps your main machine's internal drive fast and dedicated only to running applications. It makes sure that investment in RAM and an NPU actually pays off without being throttled by slow file operations.
Okay, this all boils down to a pretty clear hierarchy for upgrading a current setup then. If you're listening and your machine is feeling sluggish right now, Where do you spend your money first for the maximum ROI?
You follow this simple ROI-focused upgrade hierarchy. Number 1, RAM.
RAM first.
RAM first. If you are below 32 GB and you are running high-volume video or image workflows, that is your number 1 priority, especially with the potential supply tightening we talked about.
Okay, what's next?
Number 2, storage. If you're constantly managing files, running out of room, or deleting old assets,
Stop deleting your IP.
stop deleting your intellectual property, get a fast external SSD, or set up a small NAS. And number 3, last on the list, is the chip with dedicated AI acceleration.
So the big overhaul is last.
It's last. Save it for last. Prioritize it only if your existing processor is genuinely ancient and can't handle the local tasks we discussed, or if you're buying a completely new machine anyway.
So the core message here is this. All the speed benefits of Vera Rubin on the back end are totally meaningless if your own hardware is bottlenecking your daily output.
That's it. You don't need a data center.
No.
But you absolutely need to stop trying to run a full-scale digital media company on a machine that was designed for simple web browsing. The systems are what create the leverage, and your hardware is the foundation of that system.
Okay, so now that we've established that foundation fast, affordable, accessible compute, we can move into the operational side.
The fun part.
This is where the rubber meets the road. How do we turn that massive increase in performance and cheaper compute directly into real content outcomes and high-stakes scaling experiments?
Right, this is where we shift from technical specs to pure strategy. The entire goal of faster hardware and cheaper inference is to enable high-volume output without the human effort bottleneck. Exactly. When you have accelerated hardware and cheaper cloud inference, the first, most immediate gain is just raw speed. You get rapid transcription and summarization of your long-form content. You get quicker generation of scripts, titles, and social posts across all your platforms.
That's just table stakes, isn't it?
It is. The real game changer, the mechanism that allows these faceless brands to really win, is the ability to run A/B testing at massive scale.
Okay, explain the power of A/B testing when the barrier to generating all these variations drops this low.
Well, previously, A/B testing required human designers and editors to generate variations, which is a slow, expensive process.
So you'd maybe test 2 thumbnails.
You'd test 2, maybe 3 if you were really ambitious. If you wanted to test 50 different thumbnails for a single video, it took days and a lot of money. Now, quicker hardware and cheaper API calls mean you can run more experiments exponentially faster. You can rapidly A/B test hundreds of variations of thumbnails, hooks, and ad creatives using specialized AI creative tools.
And what are these specialized tools focusing on? Are they just glorified image generators?
Not anymore. That's the key trend the sources point out. These new tools don't just spit out random images. They're designed to test variations and optimize performance across campaigns based on preset goals you give them.
So you can tell it what you want to achieve.
Exactly. It might test 5 different facial expressions on your AI Baddie for the thumbnail, or 10 different opening text hooks. Faceless brands can treat these as mini integrated creative studios, constantly feeding the algorithm-optimized content without ever needing to hire an external graphic designer or copywriter.
The iterative speed just guarantees you find the algorithmic sweet spot faster.
Much, much faster.
Okay, so that systemization is the core philosophy. Let's walk through a concrete full-cycle example of this record once, repurpose everywhere workflow that this new hardware stack enables. Let's use the Baddie blueprint as our model.
The Baddie blueprint, at its core, is simply a system for maximizing the return on a single human input. That's all it is.
Maximum leverage.
Maximum leverage. It involves using AI characters, the baddies or digital hosts, and automated processes to run multiple channels focused on high-traffic, monetizable niches. Finance, fitness, tech breakdowns, whatever. Here's how the loop works with this new hardware foundation.
Okay, step 1.
Step 1, record. You start by recording one 30-minute episode of your core anchor content. This is your high-quality, human-led tutorial, interview, or deep dive. This is the only part that demands significant human time.
Then what?
Step 2. Transcribe and extract. Use fast AI-accelerated tools running either on your local NPU for speed or that cheaper, faster Vera Rubin cloud infrastructure to transcribe the whole episode quickly. Many new platforms are offering features that auto-identify key moments.
Like YouTube's auto clips.
Exactly, or similar agentic tools. The system pulls out 10 to 20 key hooks or aha moments that are statistically most likely to capture attention on short-form platforms. It analyzes the text for viral potential.
And then the fun part.
Step 3. Visual generation and character synthesis. This is where the digital IP, or the AI character, truly shines. You use AI image and video tools to generate the visuals for those 10 to 20 extracted hooks.
This is where the AI Baddie comes in.
This is specifically where the AI Baddie reactions or character-based segments come in. Your AI character, your digital host, can be synthesized and instantly placed into 20 different short clips, acting as the consistent visual centerpiece for all those extracted insights.
Okay, and the final step.
Step 4. Auto format and publish. Finally, you use maturing tools like Adaptive Canvas Pro, which the sources mention are now shipping features that learn your brand voice and visual style, to auto-format these clips.
No, it does the busy work.
All of it. It adjusts the aspect ratio, adds dynamic captions, changes the background color, and prepares the clip for YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and IG Reels. Plus, it generates a formatted Substack post and an email teaser, all from that same core transcript.
That's phenomenal. You're turning one 30-minute human time investment into, 20 high-quality short-form clips and 2 text assets across 3 platforms.
The human variable is constant, but the output scales by 22 times.
That's the definition of leverage.
It is. And the takeaway is crucial. The stronger the underlying AI infrastructure like Rubin providing that high-speed inference, and the faster your local machine with its 32 GB of RAM and NPU, the more quickly and reliably you can run this entire content loop every single week without burning out.
Which means you can afford to run more experiments.
More experiments, maintain more channels, and dramatically increase your volume while your human time commitment remains static.
And this scaling loop is only getting faster because the AI tool ecosystem is maturing right alongside the hardware. So what are the key emerging technologies that accelerate this loop? What do creators need to be aware of right now?
We're seeing 2 major developments that directly benefit these high-volume automated operations. First is the rapid evolution of AI humanizers.
Okay, what are those?
Well, creators testing the latest video generation tools are highlighting new critical layers that specifically add micro-expressions, subtle head motion, and accurate eye contact to generated faces.
So this is the key to escaping the uncanny valley, right?
Exactly.
Where the character looks slightly off, robotic, or just unsettling.
That's it. These humanizer layers directly attack that problem. They add the slight, almost imperceptible eyebrow raise when an important point is made, or the subtle head tilt that conveys empathy.
It's the little things that make it believable.
It is. And this is huge for these AI digital IP brands because it makes the models feel significantly more like real influencers in the feed. This increases audience acceptance, boosts engagement, and fundamentally makes your AI character more trustworthy.
If the digital host looks natural and responsive, the audience is more likely to accept the content.
They are. Then the second emerging technology is even more systemic, and it addresses the human bottleneck of quality control, auto-judging agentic AI.
That sounds like science fiction.
It's becoming reality fast. It's the future of content quality assurance. New reports are highlighting the rise of AI systems that don't just do tasks, but also self-check their own outputs for quality, accuracy, and brand alignment.
Wow.
For a creator, this is massive. Think of it like this. You are no longer spending hours watching every single generated short clip. Instead, your AI pipeline can generate 50 potential posts.
Okay.
Rate them internally based on learned successful patterns like strong hook structure, high emotional resonance, or compliance with your brand voice, and then only surface the best 10 to 15 posts for you, the human, to review and schedule.
So wait, the AI is not just creating the content, it's becoming the first-line editorial assistant.
Yes.
Its only job is to watch your own content, compare it against your 10 most viral posts, and then discard the 75% of new drafts that don't match that pattern.
Precisely. That is the perfect analogy. This drastically reduces the need for constant manual human oversight and quality control, ensuring that even at massive volume, you're only putting out content that has passed an AI-driven quality gate. It's what turns massive scale from an impossible chore into a manageable system.
So with the compute foundation set and the workflow streamlined, we can now shift our focus entirely to the business model, the promise of the 247 automated media operation.
This is the destination we're building towards.
This is about turning all that efficiency into sustained, passive revenue streams.
It is. We're moving from a creator being a single point of failure to a creator acting as a systems operator, managing a whole portfolio of digital assets.
So let's paint that picture for everyone listening. What does a fully operational 2047 faceless empire look like in practice day to day?
It's a highly automated self-feeding machine designed for persistence. You have AI agents posting short-form clips on rotation throughout the day, following a pre-optimized schedule that's been learned from thousands of data points.
It knows when to post.
It knows the best time to post. You have comment reply bots that are sophisticated enough, thanks to NPUs and local models, to sound exactly like your brand, handling basic interactions, managing comments, and qualifying leads.
And then most visibly,
Most visibly, you have AI baddies or sophisticated digital characters hosting explainers, recaps, and promos for your products, while you, the human creator, are focused entirely on strategy.
or just recording that one high-value anchor piece of content once a week.
Or just living your life.
Right. And this concept of sophisticated digital agents is becoming normalized in the consumer sphere, which really helps creators who want to build these persistent digital personalities.
That normalization is so crucial for audience reception.
We're being primed to accept them.
We are. The sources point to trends like Samsung's Vision AI companion engine, which is being positioned as the integrated brain for AI-first homes and devices. This infrastructure normalizes the idea of AI agents as everyday companions.
Whether it's on your TV, your phone.
Your appliances, yeah. This inherently warms mass audiences up to the idea of AI baddies and digital influencers as accepted, persistent parts of daily life. It makes them much more receptive to your automated media operation.
We also need to talk about where this high-volume automated content should live to maximize ROI. Is there one platform that's accelerating this shift more than others?
The sources strongly, and I mean strongly, reinforce YouTube as the strategic home base for these faceless shows.
Why YouTube?
Because YouTube is leaning heavily into AI as its next big bang. They're providing tools designed specifically to reduce human effort. They offer things like Ask Studio and AI Assistant for creators to query their own analytics in natural language, and tools to auto-generate video elements, swap backgrounds, and turn audio-only podcasts into full video with AI visuals.
So if you're a faceless brand focusing on commentary or analysis, YouTube is literally handling the visual and editing load for you.
Yes. It allows you to thrive by focusing solely on strong narrative and monetization. It's making the human part of the job easier.
It's a platform betting heavily on automation.
Which is the perfect environment for a systematic, faceless operation.
Okay, let's talk money. That's the payoff. Where does the revenue come from once you've achieved this scale? What are the new monetization angles that this hardware shift unlocks?
The first, and I would argue the most powerful for long-term stability and building true wealth, is dynamic ad insertion, or DAI.
Okay.
YouTube's DAI rollout is revolutionary for content archivists. It turns every old video and every audio podcast in your library into fresh, current, high-value ad inventory.
I want to make sure everyone listening really understands the gravity of this. An episode you uploaded 2 years ago,
Right.
which might have had fixed, stale ads, now gets new, high-value ads inserted dynamically based on the specific viewer, their location, and the time of day.
That's it, and this increases that long-tail revenue dramatically. Faceless channels with evergreen content like tutorials, market breakdowns, or consistent lo-fi educational content, they stand to profit the most. Every old upload literally becomes an ad slot machine.
It's compounding revenue over time without any further work.
Exactly. You build the asset once, the AI repurposes it, and DAI ensures it keeps earning consistently. It turns every piece of content into a compounding interest machine.
All right, what's the second angle?
Secondly, the low barrier to entry that's created by this cheap, fast compute allows for something that was previously impractical for solo creators, running multiple verticals or digital characters.
Right.
The barrier to starting a new content channel just shifted from how many hours can I work to how efficiently can I manage multiple systems.
That's a huge shift.
It's a fundamental shift in thinking. If the underlying AI system handles 80% of the content generation, you can run multiple channels or shows simultaneously. You can have digital IPA, which focuses on high-octane stock market analysis hosted by AI Baddie Alpha.
And digital IPB.
And digital IPB, which focuses on calm, historical facts hosted by AI Baddie Beta, all managed efficiently from the same 32 GB hardware stack and automated systems.
Yeah.
You're essentially diversifying your entire media portfolio instantly.
And the third angle relates directly to the emerging commerce space.
Yes, especially short form and live streams. The focus is shifting towards integrated commerce. Platforms like TikTok Shop are pushing heavy into live stream selling and weekend streams.
And AI hosts are perfect for that.
They're perfectly positioned because the digital hosts can live longer without the human creator burnout that plagues influencers. They can run a live stream selling sponsored products for 10 hours straight on a Saturday.
Something a human creator simply can't sustain.
No, it provides massive advantages in time zone coverage and sheer endurance.
So the ultimate takeaway here, the leverage point, is that the real goal isn't chasing one fleeting viral video
No,
or relying purely on your personal talent.
the real leverage is the systemic one. It's building a system that keeps throwing optimized quality content into the algorithm consistently and persistently, with almost zero incremental time commitment from you. The hardware provides the speed enables the system, and the system enables the leverage. That's the formula.
Now, as technology scales this fast, there are always road bumps. Before we wrap up, we have to look at the challenges inherent in building a faceless brand using synthetic media.
Definitely. The two major challenges faceless brands have to prepare for are regulation and transparency risk.
Right.
We've seen high-profile reports of scammers using AI deepfakes impersonating public figures like pastors or CEOs to solicit donations or spread misinformation.
And that kind of abuse, even if it's unrelated to what you're doing.
It often precedes tighter platform rules and potential government regulation around synthetic media disclosure.
So faceless brands and AI character channels, they need to be prepared for mandatory labeling or specific platform restrictions down the line.
You have to be. You have to be prepared to prove you are not running a scam. Expect ongoing debates over transparency and labeling for AI-generated content.
So the best path is transparency.
I think so. Creators who are upfront and clear about their use of AI, even integrating the AI character identity as part of the brand's appeal, will be far better positioned than those who try to mask their digital origins. Authenticity in the AI age, ironically, is going to be defined by how transparent you are about your level of automation.
Okay, let's bring it all back home. We've done a deep dive into the Silicon Foundation, and the clear message is that the massive jump in hardware speed and accessibility
From Vera Rubin on the high end?
to the consumer-focused Ryzen AI chips,
Yeah.
it's shifting the creator economy. It's moving from being talent-centric to being entirely system-centric. You don't just need a good idea anymore.
You need a smart, durable, automated pipeline. The future belongs to the operators who view compute as a stable utility, not a fragile, expensive luxury. This technological leap removes the complexity barrier and the cost barrier.
Leaving only the system's design barrier.
That's it.
So let's give you a simple 7-day action plan based on everything we've discussed. Something you can tackle this week to start building or upgrading your 24/7 automated media operation.
Let's do it.
Number 1, audit your hardware immediately. Check your RAM, your storage, and confirm if your main content device has dedicated AI acceleration and NPU.
And if you're below 32 GB of RAM and running any heavy video or image generation, prioritize that upgrade purchase immediately, especially given those supply warnings.
Number 2, pick one workflow to speed up. Don't try to automate everything at once.
No, start small.
Start small. Focus on making transcription, video editing, or visual asset generation 50% faster this week. Route it to a new local AI tool or invest in a faster cloud provider optimized for inference.
Number 3, set up a basic pipeline. Implement a simple record once, repurpose everywhere system. Use the Baddie blueprint model we outlined. Even if you only pull 3 short clips from your one anchor piece of content, just start the loop.
And finally, number 4, define your first digital IP asset. Clearly outline the niche, the voice, and the visual style of your first faceless brand or AI character that will benefit from this automation.
Give it a name and a distinct purpose. Make it a system output, not a human clone.
Right.
And that leads us to the final provocative thought, something for you to mull over as you begin designing and building these highly efficient systems. If the cost of generating high-quality, high-volume content drops to near zero, which it's heading towards, the economic dynamics of media creation change completely. And this raises a really important question.
What stands out to you in that scenario?
Is the real creator middle class in 2026 the people who own characters and systems, those automated pipelines and AI baddies that generate content 24/7, rather than the people who rely on owning large, fragile audiences that require constant, exhausting human attention?
Wow.
Because if you own the system, you own the leverage, and you can generate the audience on demand, something to mull over as you build your empire.